Hello everyone. Today I had planned a vlog where I take you through my writing process and me trying to prepare to get an article published. But I'm sick. I don't feel well. I think I have a sinus infection or something else. And I don't feel like doing any of that. But I still wanted to give you a video. So today I thought I would share a super quick life update that is just real honest about what's going on. So if you haven't been keeping up with my vlogs or you haven't, just want to jog your memory, I graduated with my PhD in Culture and Performance from UCLA September 15th, 2023, and on September 15th, 2023, I started my postdoc as a UC Chancellor's Postdoctoral Fellow at the University of California, Irvine. I actually really love this postdoc. It doesn't require any teaching, it focuses on your research, and it also provides just a ton of professional development, training, and mentorship. And those were things that I felt like throughout my entire graduate school experience, I did not get a lot of. I did not get a lot of mentorship, I did not get a lot of training. And so to be in this space where that is what is being highlighted or prioritized is chef's kiss. Beautiful. After I graduated, I didn't really do a lot of anything. I mean, I was speaking to a friend of mine, and they kind of helped me reframe the first few months after graduating and helped me understand that the planning process, thinking, deloading, disassociating from the traumas or experiences, or just from transitioning from a student to a not student requires mental labor. And so even though I wasn't producing things that would be considered productive, I was still being productive in the sense I was doing mental and emotional labor to get myself prepped to this point. So all that to say is, the first thing that I think to be updated or said explicitly, and I've kind of alluded to this in other videos, is that I do not plan on turning my dissertation into a book. And that is very common with PhDs, especially in the humanities and social sciences, well, more so humanities, is that they write their dissertation, and then when they graduate, they do heavy lifting editing to turn that dissertation into their first academic book. My relationship with my dissertation, how I feel about my dissertation. In fact, if you watch this video, you'll know how I feel about my dissertation. Maybe the thumbnail helps show how I feel. But it's just not a project that I currently want to revisit to do the labor of trying to make it into a book manuscript. I feel like it would take just as much time to start a new project and to do a project that I feel passionate about and kind of emotionally disconnected from my dissertation. And so that is the first thing that I am doing. I've already started the planning process in the sense I have my new book topic, I have an idea of what the chapters will be, what my data set or what I will do research on, and I will, begin that research very shortly. In fact, that's what this month is all about, is really jumping into that research. A big part of doing a dissertation that you don't want to turn into a book, and then doing a book project that is completely different than your dissertation, is that it requires a lot of groundwork that maybe you wouldn't have had to do if you would have just turned your dissertation into a book. So I'm basically or literally starting from scratch, in the sense I have to do a whole new reading list, annotated bibliography. Basically, I'm imagining I'm doing the dissertation again, but better, and also without the academic pressures and struggles. With that said, like I said, I am going to start that research this month. Another thing that I think is a big life update or something, I know a lot of you may have saw or maybe not. I did bring it up, but I had also simultaneously earned the UC Chancellor's postdoc at UC Irvine and the Terra Foundation Postdoctoral Fellowship in American Art at the Smithsonian American Art Museum and the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And so I earned 2 postdocs, and I do plan on taking both. The Smithsonian postdoc is only 3 months. When I first conceptualized it, I was just going to use it to write an article, but now it's going to be the basis of my research for my dissertation, or for my book manuscript. And so I say that to say, originally I was supposed to go last fall, but it was really hard for me to find housing because it was just like an off season, and the housing that I did find was very, very expensive. And so this summer I will be going for sure back to the Smithsonian to begin this research and to take up this postdoctoral research. If you have any questions about any of these postdocs, about postdoctoral processes or things like that, or if you have questions about the idea of a book manuscript or any, please ask them in this comment section. I love to know what you want to know. It helps me build videos, but also helps me think about the work that I'm doing in a different way to make sure that it's accessible and can help you achieve whatever goals you have. So yes, this summer I will be headed to Washington, D.C. to work at the Smithsonian to do a lot of the heavy lifting for my book manuscript. Now, if you're interested about the differences between my dissertation and my book manuscript, my dissertation is about decolonizing museums. It wasn't originally supposed to be that, but again, if you watched any of the vlogs of when I was studying abroad or things like that, I got hurt while I was studying abroad, and then I had family issues that really impacted my desire and ability to write and think and be an academic. And so it just became what it is. So my dissertation is a very short dissertation that talks about, what do we mean by decolonizing the museum? What are the limits of that phraseology? And what are different methodologies from a different case study that can help us think about new possibilities within the discourse of decolonizing museums? I don't want to do that for a book. I don't want to be a museum lady. I'm really into Afro-Latinidad, Blackness, Black identity, social, racial identity politics, and visual culture and art. And so even though I technically am a museum lady, I do know a lot about museums, museum history, all of that jazz. I just want to do other things. So the book manuscript is about an artist named Tony Gleaton, and Tony Gleaton takes images of Black people in different circumstances that most people would be surprised to see Black people in. So he starts off with a photo series of Black people in this U.S. Southwest that are like cowboys and in rodeos and kind of this Southwestern geography or Southwestern arena. And then he also takes pictures of Afro-Mexicans or Afro-descendants in Mexico and Central America, like Honduras, Nicaragua, and Belize. And those images are a big part of my book manuscript and thinking about, what does it mean to be Black? What does transnational, transcultural Black relationships look like? And how can art, specifically photography in these ways, help us understand these relationships and these communities and the social, racial politics that exist in these perceived non-Black spaces. So I'm really excited about the beginning of that process and writing that book. It very much is related to the things that I care about. What other life update is there? There's not really much else going on besides that. I mean, obviously, if you have questions about me, feel free to ask. But I think those are the major takeaways of what's going on in my life right now is that I've been in my postdoc for 6 months. And in these 6 months, I've totally pivoted from being a graduate student. I don't feel like a graduate student anymore. I'm now starting the process of preparing my book manuscript, moving away from the dissertation, and also thinking about publications and all of that jazz. If you made it to this point of the video, thank you so much. If you, please, if you made it through this point of the video and you have more questions, please ask me as many questions. Like, it's never annoying. Ask me 1,000 questions. Ask me 10,000 questions. I actually really love seeing questions and talking to you all and building community with you all. And so please leave comments and questions down below. I might not do another life update like this again, but I might if I'm sick and I don't feel like recording a real. Patient with me, for honoring the space and letting me be sick, and also for caring about my life update and making it to this point of the video. If you want to know more about me or see my questions and answers, then you should watch this video next. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.